2, 3, 4. Friday goes to work, Saturday does too. Sunday go to church out, then Monday morning blues. I don't know if I'm alright. I don't know, ain't black and white. I don't know what's the will to fight. Gonna turn off the news and write you a song. Gonna turn off the news and write you a song. Just wants to paint it real. Really wants to paint it blue. We're living in a purple world. I hope you see it too. I don't know if I'm wrong or right. I don't know, ain't black and white. I don't know what's will to fight. Gonna turn off the news and write you a song. Gonna turn off the news and write you a song. A noisy old typewriter in a data-driven world, trying to give it all meaning just like only John Prine could. I don't know if I'm wrong or right. I don't know, ain't black and white. I don't know what's will to fight. Gonna turn off the news and write you a song. Gonna turn off the news and write you a song. Sometimes the world moves fast, I prefer to take it slow. They're passing me in that traveling lane, that's just the way life goes. I don't know if I'm wrong or right. I don't know, ain't black and white. I don't know what will to fight. Gonna turn off the news and write you a song. Gonna turn off the news and write you a song. Now they say the world is flat. Well, I don't know about that. Someday we'll sail a boat away. We ain't never coming back. I don't know if I'm wrong or right. I don't know, ain't black and white. I don't know, lost the will to fight. Gonna turn off the news and write you a song. Gonna turn off the news and write you a song. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
That one's called I Don't Know. This one's a song that Ed wrote, coming up. Ready? Yep. They say wisdom comes with age, but I'm still drinking too much beer. Wake up with a split headache, my alarm I don't want to hear. Go to work and nobody cares, my boss says I got more to give. Boss man, I need some time, this life I'm trying to live. But when I go to bed, I can rest my head easy, 'cause the only one I want to pray
My parents are getting old, I know I should call them more. But life is filled with video games and toys all over the floor. And brains and melodies is how I spend my time. A beer with the boys at night feels like a fair crime. So wisdom comes with age. Guess I'll wait another year. Another bill, another gray hair, and yeah, another beer. Another soul burn, another lesson to learn. Maybe all the answers are closer than I know. I know. Maybe all the answers are closer than I know.
Thank you. This next one's about growing up in the 80s. Creatively enough called 80s Child. I was born in a rusty town, neon lit up when the sun went down. Didn't worry about all that much, little kids in the street playing double dutch. Going home, nobody there. Grab my bike and my best friend stayed. Run by the river till sun goes down. Headlights passing the edge of town. 'Cause I'm an 80s child, yeah, an 80s child. Ain't nobody worrying about me. You know my mama loved me when she took me in each night. She let me live a life that's free 'cause she knew she raised me right. Looking in my baby's eyes, I can see what she's all in. An 80s child, an 80s child. Ain't nobody worrying about me. Summertime at the railway bridge, climb as high as my brother did. Feel the shake of that diesel train coming. Jump in the river, a hard saw drum. Home run derbies park down the street. Fishing in the lake with no shoes on my feet. Trading cards in the back of us. Staying up late with the rest of us. 'Cause I'm an 80s child. Yeah, an 80s child. Ain't nobody worrying about me. Those streets again. Springtime is coming, but the kids will be locked in. I wonder if those shadows on the walls remember when they were an 80s child. Yeah, an 80s child. Ain't nobody worrying about me. Next one's written about a river that runs right behind my house. It runs right behind our neighborhood.
Yep.
10 Mile River.
10 miles.
I think it's 10
Yeah,
miles.
I
I'm pretty sure it's 10.
Should be, right?
The 2 long weeks of toiling on the B&W line. Gonna see my black-haired beauty. Tonight I'm gonna make up mine. With a silver ring in my pocket for the hand of Mary Wright. I battled the 10-mile river, looking at those dance all lights. Meet me below the weeping willow. We'll swing and we'll dance with Providence. Loved ones will come and loved ones will go on the 10-mile river tonight. As I come to the bend of that river, oh, I see a terrible sight. Smoke and flames have pillaged will be this fateful night. I tie my boat to that willow and I find her family beyond. You can tell from their soot-colored tear stains my sweet Mary is gone. Meet me below the weeping willow. We'll swing and we'll dance with Providence. Loved ones will come and loved ones will go on the 10-mile river tonight. Stay on the banks of that river on a warm summer night. Underneath that weeping willow, you'll see my Mary in white. Meet me below the weeping willow. We'll swing and we'll dance with Providence. Loved ones will come and loved ones will go on the 10-mile river tonight. On the 10-mile river tonight. Thank you. We're going to play one more for you here. It's our longest song, but not too long.
The epic.
This one's called Virginia Don't Love Me Anymore. You guys ready?
Cheap hotel room and a splitting head. Whiskey bottles and company in my bed. I'd open my eyes, but I'm afraid I might piece together what happened last night. 17 hours and never looking back. Last thing I remember seeing is a policeman looking down at me and said it looks like it's been a long night. I said, sir, I believe you're right. 17 hours and never looking back. It's been fun, but now I need to go. Virginia, don't love me anymore. Still don't know how we cleared that honky-tonk bar with David Duke stickers and Confederates on the wall. We were just a few Yankee boys, talk about the government, make a little noise. 17 hours and never looking back. Made our way out of Richmond town. Them church-going folks didn't like us around. I don't know what the fuss was about. We were just communing with the parking lot. 17 hours and never looking back. It's been fun, but now I need to go. Virginia, don't love me anymore. Whoa, no, no, no. Virginia, don't love me anymore. Started on Highway 1 in a Cadillac. Old friends and bottles rolling around the back. Cracked one open every time we passed through. Was only planning to have one or two. 17 hours and never looking back. No one ever told us there'd be so few days like these. Said we're wasting our lives away, but I still disagree. It's been fun, but now I need to go. Virginia, don't love me anymore. Virginia, don't love me anymore.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you to the Parlour and Motif. We appreciate it.
Hello, good evening. We're here with Motif's In Between the Notes. Thank you to our sponsors at R1 Indoor Go-Karting and Trinity Beer Garden, as well as the Parlour for hosting us and this incredible band, Rumford Junction. All right, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a really wonderful performance. Thank you so much. Yeah. Can you take a moment to please share your names and the instruments that you played?
Yep. My name's Tim. I play guitar.
And I play guitar.
Lisa, and I'm on fiddle and accordion.
John, I'm on drums.
Awesome. Rumford Junction, a true COVID miracle. Can you take a moment to please share the origins of your bands?
Go for it.
So yeah, 2020 happened, and we were all stuck at home all the time. We're all neighbors, and we live within just a couple blocks of each other. So when there was nothing else going on, we found out we all like to play music, and we started jamming in our yards. So that was something we would do every weekend, usually, all outdoors, almost every weekend. And it was really fun. We started doing a lot of, cover songs, different things that we like. And yeah, we just played almost every weekend. It was something to look forward to on the weekends because we had nothing else going on, right?
Yeah.
So,
Got a
anything
little harder
else?
this year once everybody got a life back.
Can you pass
Yeah.
the mic?
It got a little harder this year once everybody got a life back in 2021. So we realized that the weekends were a little more filled up. But before that, Ed and Jay, who plays percussion, wasn't able to make it. We would play in the in my basement like once a month just to have some fun. And then, but then, yeah, COVID happened and it kind of took us all outside, and it was a great thing for us. I mean, it really worked out. What's that?
The porch.
Oh yeah, so we ended up playing on what was it, World Porch Day or what was that?
Porch Day, yeah, something like
World's Porch Day.
Play music on the porch
Porch
day,
day.
and it was at John's house.
Yeah, it was fun. We set up, I was sort of inside and half outside the front door, which was kind of interesting.
Uh-huh.
And was it raining that day?
No. Well,
No.
it was. I think yes, I think it was about.
Yeah.
It was sketchy, yeah.
Yeah.
But
It
all
was
the
a lot of
neighbors
fun.
came out. All the neighbors came to watch us, and we played on his porch as a stage, and that gave us an idea, like, this is really fun. Maybe we can keep doing this, So-
Wow, a moment of inspiration during a sketchy storm on a porch. I love it. Can you talk a little bit about your name, Rumford Junction, where that comes from?
No. Well, I don't know. There's been a few iterations. First, it was Fish Ladder.
Ladder.
What were the other?
I love Fish
what were the other
Ladder.
names that we came up
Rumford
with?
River.
Well, it was the Rumford River bands, and some point out that there is no Rumford River. We're like, well, yeah, maybe that's true. All right.
Several names that when we looked them up online, someone already had used. So
Yeah.
we couldn't.
Yeah. So they were used already. So I don't know. We play a lot of folk and country music. So like the imagery of sort of trains was a good thing. So we're like, oh, Rumford Junction. That kind of fit us well, I thought.
And if anyone doesn't know, Rumford is a neighborhood in East Providence, which is where we live. So it's like just one part of East Providence. And so we just use that for a name.
Yeah.
No comment. You've told the story well.
Okay.
Would you say that this part of Rumford, like you all knew each other before COVID? Did you just start playing music together? How did you all find out about one another?
Good question, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one time, one of our other neighbors, the guy that's not here, they hosted a little jam at their house one time. And then actually on Easter of 2020, I wanted to do an Easter parade with my accordion, and I did that. And I walked around the neighborhood, and I came by Ed's house and Tim's house and John's, and I said, hey, and they were out there with their guitars, and we were like, oh, yeah, let's do this again. So then we made some plans to do a jam on not the next week, but soon after that, we started doing it. It became a regular thing. And then, we were all playing in the yard, and John came by and said, hey, what are you guys doing? And I play drums.
He
And
tried
I
to
was-
steal Lisa from us.
Yeah.
I know, yeah. He took Lisa for one of his other bands. So John's got like two other bands, and
Yeah.
when he was walking by, Ed was like, "Hey, you want to play with us?" And we played a song, and I was like, "He's never coming back. Like John's just never coming back. He's got two other bands. He's got going on."
You noticed. I thought I pulled that off rather smoothly, but I guess you noticed that. Yeah, that was really fun. So these guys have been here for a while. We just moved in about 5 years ago or so, came from Chicago, and we just made it a habit of walking the neighborhood. Found out that that was the best way to meet people, especially during the COVID times. There were folks hanging
Right.
outside and saying hi to each other. And I found these guys playing on the side of the road, and I said, wow, I love the way they sound. So that's how I got introduced to the band. Yeah.
Side of the road.
Side of the road. It's my backyard.
AKA my garden.
It was not under 195.
That's so wonderful. I love that story. Yeah, so y'all formed during COVID. Do you see yourselves staying together? Do you anticipate or want to play at other venues? How do you see yourselves like moving forward as a band?
I don't think we've planned beyond right now.
That's also lovely.
Well, we do like to play. We've been playing some local gigs at a park near our house called Hunts Mills, and that's what we've been trying to just get into the groove of playing out in front of people. You know, I think we would like to do other things like that, public appearances, fairs and festivals, maybe some farmers markets, that type of thing, to get started.
Farm Fresh Rhode Island, you hear this?
There you go. Yeah.
Here's a folk band right
Yeah.
here.
we always said, as long as it's fun, and it's still fun, we're having fun with each other, and I think that's the key to it, is that we're having a good time, and we live within 4 blocks of each other. We got to have a good time, otherwise, I got to see you all the time, so we got to make sure we stay on good graces. So it's good. It's a good thing. I think it's keeping us all together.
It's so beautiful to hear people playing music for just the love of music.
Yeah.
You know? Awesome. Who are your primary influences? And perhaps this is all different. As a musician, as a band, your sounds. I know you've got multiple songwriters in your bands. Feel free to pass the mic.
Yeah. I guess I'll take it since I'm holding it. I think we all kind of we tend to draw from the same. When we first started playing, we would just say, "Hey, let's play this song," and everybody would say, "Yeah, I like that song," and it'd be usually like Tom Petty or the band or it was all stuff that we were like, "Yeah, I love that song." So I think we all come from similar places. I think if they were like a Venn diagram, we're all pretty much close to each other. There's a big overlap, but in terms of when I'm writing songs, I think what I'm pulling from mostly is, Tom Petty could write a chorus that everybody wants to sing. That's what all my songs have started from. I just want to sing this chorus, and I hope everybody else wants to sing it out loud.
Right.
Another person I pull from is Hayes Carl. He's kind of one of these guys that has roots in Texas, singer-songwriters, and he pulls from like Ray Wiley Hubbard and Robert Earl Keen, all these guys with like 3 names that are all somehow connected to the Texas singer-songwriter culture, kind of singing songs about just telling stories about living hard sometimes, and I tend to be drawn to that kind of music. And I think with this type of music, if you don't say anything about John Prine, you got to say something. He could say so much in so few words. So just always trying to. He's always been a huge influence on me. But I don't know if you guys want to.
R.I.P. John Prine.
No?
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
My influences are all over the place, from the Grateful Dead to Cajun and Zydeco to bluegrass.
I
and
heard that.
all kinds of stuff like that. And so when I started playing with these guys, I was like, all I could do, basically, I'm big on the 2-chord songs, 3-chord songs, repetitive stuff. That's what I like to play, mostly on accordion. That's my main thing. So, I would try to teach them some songs I know from bluegrass or something like that. And then, they had some other songs. We do have the common ground of some of the songs, like the band and, Johnny Cash and stuff like that. So a lot of our cover songs are from that genre. And yeah, I like the really rhythmic stuff and the more Cajun-y things like that. And those were, today we tried to focus on our original tunes, but sometimes we play more some of those cover songs from other bands like that.
Yeah, I'll say a word about the tunes. For me, I like the minimalist drummers, so guys like Charlie Watts. It's a tough year for drummers. We just had Graham Edge pass away from the Moody Blues, sad. But those guys knew how to leave space in the song, and I think that's a really important thing. It's actually harder to do than flailing away on the kit. But I think it's important, and when I met these guys and found out that they were doing original material that is so inspiring to me, because it it meant I didn't have to try and mimic note for note what somebody was doing on their kit for a cover song that everybody had in their head and was waiting to hear a certain signature
Right.
riff on the drums or the guitar or whatever. So I love it, the fact that these guys are talented songwriters and they're willing to allow me to participate in their creations. It's just wonderful. So it's a kick. It's like nothing else I do, and I love it.
That's so
And
wonderful.
Tim, what's your middle name?
What's my middle name?
Yeah,
James.
Tim's middle name. So you have 3 names too. So you're one of those
I could go
3-name
down
guys.
that
Come
road.
on,
You're
man.
right, you're
Yeah.
right,
All
yeah.
right.
Are you speaking to
TJ.
how some members have
TJ.
aliases in this
Okay.
group? Just kidding. Yeah, no, you all vibe really well together. And it's so inspiring to hear that you play so many original songs. And I hear what you're saying. As a musician myself, like, I often feel pressure to mimic what a song is if I'm doing a cover. You know, and that just might not be where your skill level is yet, and that might not be your vibe, honestly. You know, so to have the flexibility within your own songwriting is so beautiful. I heard Cajun right away with the first song. That was really great. I'm just looking at
It's
my
my
notes
favorite.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any shout outs for your favorite Cajun or Zydeco musicians? Or
I love C.J. Chenier. I love Beausoleil, Steve Riley, all those guys. I mean, we're lucky to have a lot of those people come up to the area quite often. Some of our festivals, like Rhythm and Roots, we have people, and even right in Pawtucket, they have shows at the German Club sometimes. Some of these
Oh,
bands
wow.
come up. So, I mean, we have a pretty good following of stuff. And then there's like local bands like Magnolia. They've been doing it for a long time around here. So, I mean, there's no shortage of actually hearing that music, and I've been following it for a long time. So, yeah, I love that. I love that and anything from like Louisiana and that type of thing, you know. So, yeah.
very cool. Do you tune your violin like Cajun style?
No.
Okay.
Once I get it tuned, it's staying there. I have not been playing violin. There's a sirens there.
Yes.
They sound just like it, right?
Big hubbub.
The violin's a relatively new instrument for me, and I just have it tuned the regular way. The Cajuns usually do tune it down a step, but I don't like to mess with it because once I get it one way, I like to keep it that way.
Right.
But maybe someday, or maybe I'll get a second one to do that sometime.
That's so inspiring to hear you new at the violin and up here on stage killing it. That's so inspiring. It really is. Question about 10 Mile River, which also had a gorgeous fiddle line. Is there, in fact, a beautiful willow?
That's a really good question. I took a little justice with the songwriting on that one. I don't think there is actually a willow there. So,
Maybe at
so
some
the story
point.
behind that was that area. So it's at Hunts Mills where we play all the time. There used to be a dance hall there, and it burned down in like 1920.
Oh, wow.
And I was running over there one day, and they have all these kind of signs along the river and in the area just to kind of tell you about the history of it. And people used to canoe up and down that river. There were all these canoe houses, and so at that time it was a real lively place. And so I don't know, somewhere in the middle of that, the idea of it burning down and maybe the love of his life burning in that fire, I thought sounded like a real kind of very folky song, and kind of just came from there. But I don't know that there's a willow tree there, although I'm sure there's some. It rhymed really well. Yes.
Gorgeous tune. Yeah, I have a question about where we can hear you. Well, I guess you mentioned where we can hear your music moving forward at the 10 Mile Mill. Sorry. What was the mill name?
The Hunts Mills, yeah.
The Hunts Mills,
Yeah.
thank you. Your guitar, Tim, is very interesting. Is it custom? What is it?
It's
is
new. It's a
yeah.
new one. Yeah. It's this Fender that Fender's making this thing. It's an acoustic. Has all these acoustic voicings on it, but you can also play electric. You can get an electric voicing on it too. So I'm still kind of messing around with it. That was actually our first. I used to always play an acoustic guitar, we're an acoustic band. And then I started playing the electric, and everyone's like, oh, that sounds good. Playing electric. I was like, well, that's our first step. Now we're going electric. Like I said, give us 6 months. We're going to be playing like, some metal or something. I don't know what we're going to do, but I think
Start growing your hair now.
yeah, exactly. But it's an interesting guitar. We'll see where it goes.
Awesome. Any shout outs to other projects? I know y'all are such elaborate musicians. Like a lot of you play independently or play with other bands. Feel free to take this opportunity to shout out other projects that you're working on
Mike left here.
or cool things happening in Providence or around Providence.
Okay. I'm involved with a couple of projects, so this is one of them. It's obviously my favorite one, my favorite bandmates. But I also play with a group called Phoenix, which is more of a 60s, 70s cover band. We do some country rock and very different stuff, but it's pretty much mainstream. And then the other band is the Redbridge Band, which is more the John Hyatt, John Prine kind of thing. Pardon? Oh, and Delbert McClinton. How did I forget Delbert McClinton? Delbert, yeah. So
That's what I meant.
it's very different. And I just love the challenge of playing 3 different kinds of songs. It really stretches me as a drummer. And you just discover things that you can transport from one genre to the other. And amazingly, it kind of works. And it sounds a little different. You put your own touch on it. And that's what makes it fun.
Thank you.
Oh, I want to say also, pardon me, I didn't mean to grab the microphone out of here. I also want to say it's really fun playing with accordion player. Yeah, there are a lot of fiddle players out there, but accordion players, it just is it adds a completely different flavor, and it's a spicy feel. And
Yeah.
I just love it. You do a great job at it.
Thank you.
Such a full sound. It's beautiful.
I always say I'm not an accordionist. I'm a keyboard player with a portable keyboard. That's how I look at it. So it's an acoustic kind of keyboard, and I love playing it. It's really fun to bring to jams. Besides this band, I do play in the other band with John, the Red Bridge. I play keyboards and some accordion in there. And most of my other music is just like with jamming with friends. I have a lot of friends in the Rhode Island Bluegrass Association. I go to jams there, and it's
Very
mostly
cool.
just jamming. It's not commercial. It's more like just for fun, and it's just like we just do a lot of that, and that's where I do most of my playing. Besides with these guys.
Yeah, and I think a shout out for Rhode Island Bluegrass Association because I've gone to a couple of the jams, not many, but they being in Rhode Island, there's not the competitiveness you might see if you went down to like North Carolina or something.
New York,
Or New York,
honestly.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can imagine everything, right?
Yeah.
And so it's a really inclusive and just a great group, and they're willing to let people come in and learn, and it's a great resource for people who live in Rhode Island or are interested in bluegrass music.
Great to know.
This is the only band I'm in.
Your songs were great. That's so awesome. All right, thank you so much. I guess in our final moments, any advice for aspiring folk musicians or aspiring musicians out there who might feel disconnected right now or like they're not good enough? What would you say to your younger selves as a musician?
I would just say go try it. I ran into Tim and we started playing together, and that's where it started for me. I'd only been playing guitar for about 2 years when we started playing in his basement. So I would say anybody who's just looking for someone to play with, go find someone to play with and do the best you can, because it is a lot of fun, and it's very stress relieving to play with a band and give it a whirl. Nerve-wracking sometimes, but stress relieving too.
Yeah, I don't know if I have much to add. I mean, just get out there and do it. I mean, I think when I was in my 20s, I tried to write a few songs, and I think I put the notebook down, but I don't know, something clicked in my 40s, and I was ready to do it. So you just got to kind of put words on paper, and if it's just 3 chords, that's all you need sometimes, right? So
Yes.
Millions of
Yeah.
combinations.
yeah.
So many combinations. Yeah. I say just get out there and meet your neighbors and have some fun.
I just add, find your own voice, because the people that are doing great tunes that you love, it's fun to imitate them and to honor them by playing their songs, but it's also great to find where you fit in and develop your own feel and your own groove and your own vibe, because that's really what's going to bring you forward.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much, Rumford Junction. This was amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Parlour.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks everyone. Thanks.
Thank you again to our sponsors, R1 and Trinity Beer Garden, and thanks again to the Motif and the Parlour for hosting us. Thank you so much, and the Motif. All right, in between the notes. Take care.